Welcome dear friends. Today I'll talk about Saturn in the third house of your birth chart. So please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. So friends, you can see that Saturn is there in the third house. You can see on the chart. Now friends, you see Saturn is a planet of delay. Saturn is a planet of death, longevity. It's a planet of darkness. It's a planet also of unnecessary and unknown fear. It is a planet of obstruction also, obstacles also, of chronic diseases also. It is a planet of reward, punishment. So Saturn is the planet of secrecy also. It is a planet of justice. It is a planet of discipline, of hard work, of diligence. It is a planet of routine. So it is a planet which does not like change. It is the planet of coldness also, heaviness also, slowness. So all these things are associated with Saturn. And Saturn also signifies all kinds of metals, especially iron, lead, and even other metals, even gold. It signifies metals. It signifies whatever is there even underground. It is a significator of that. So whatever is hidden, yes, that is why it is also the planet of secrecy. Now friends, it is also a planet which signifies time. Yes. So now Saturn is there in the third house. Third house is the house of your communication. It is the house of your skills, your hobbies. It is the house of your ambition. It is the house of your innermost desires. It is also the house of your you can say younger siblings. Yes, it is also the house of your short travels. Okay, so Saturn is now seated in the third house. Third house is also the house of initiation. Initiation, that is beginning something new, some new project, some new work. That is initiation. It is third house is the house of initiation. So now Saturn is seated there. So Saturn causes delay in everything. So friends, communication. The native, in the first part of his life, say until the age of 30 years, he'll be hesitant in communication. He'll in the matters of communication. He won't be, able to express himself freely. So that also we can say. Because Saturn is there, no? Saturn also is the planet of obstruction. So that may happen. But yes, after the age of 35, the native, after he has, turned mature, and then definitely, he will be able to communicate. But earlier on, some hesitation in communicating his thoughts and ideas, that you can say. It is also the house of younger siblings. Some problems with the younger siblings, some problematic relationship could be there. And also it could be that Saturn is a planet of responsibility and duty also. So because Saturn is also disciplined, so the native may take the responsibility of his siblings even early on in life, like even before the age of, even say you can say from teenagehood onwards, even while he was an adolescent, the native had to look after his younger siblings and he had to take the responsibility. That also we can say. And at times he may be a little critical about his younger siblings also, because Saturn is also a planet of you can say a planet that is very critical and analytical also. Yes, so he may be a little critical. And also Saturn is also a planet which also signifies doubt and skepticism also, and even suspicion. So friends, what else we can say about the third house? Third house, short travels. Some delay in your short travels which you need to undertake, especially for your profession or for any reason you may need to undertake short travels. So some delay in short travels may take place because Saturn is seated there. So all these things we can say. And communication, I told you. Then siblings and initiation, because Saturn is there. So some delay in initiating a new project. You want to initiate something that is your innermost desire. Maybe it is something which was your hobby. Just an example. But then there will be some delay, because Saturn is there. No, Saturn is a planet of delay. So in realizing that innermost desire and in initiating it, in initiating that new journey, some delay will be there. But once you begin, say after the age of 35, then there is no looking back. Especially if Saturn is in good dignity, in a sign which is, at least if it is Saturn's own sign, or maybe a sign which is at least which belongs to a planet which is not inimical to Saturn especially, and the nakshatra in which Saturn is sitting, the lord of the nakshatra, if that lord is also not inimical, then definitely obstacles will be less and you'll be able to initiate your dream project maybe someday, definitely after the age of 30, you can say 30-35. So friends, this is the third house. So third house is the house of your efforts, the house of your hard work, and Saturn is seated there. Saturn is also a planet of hard work, yes, and discipline. So third house usually is considered to be a good placement for Saturn. It is generally considered to be a good placement because it is also a mild Dusthana house. The Dusthana's main Dusthanas are 6, 8 and 12, and third house is a mild Dusthana. Saturn is also considered to be a natural malefic, so it is believed to do well in the malefic house. That is why third house is also an Upachaya house. The results of that house, over time you get more and more, because the results of the third house, they grow over time. So definitely Saturn also will give results over time because it is a planet of time and it demands patience from you. Then definitely if Saturn is there in the third house, then over time you will get good results. You will get good results. You may become a very successful communicator. Yes, you may even do very well in the media industry also. Whatever the third house indicates, you may be engaged in some kind of handicrafts. Yes, whatever you can do with your hands, that also we can say. Then so all these things, friends, we can say that over time you will become, maybe in future you may become a very successful novelist. Yes, you may become that. You may become a very good speaker or orator who can talk for long hours. So all these things may happen. Now friends, in Nadi astrology we also consider that planets have certain aspects, obviously certain special aspects planets have. So what are those aspects? So friends, Saturn will have, first aspect is definitely on that particular house where Saturn is sitting. That is the third house. That is the first aspect. Then there are other aspects. First aspect I told you just now, that what results you can expect if Saturn is in the third house. Now what other aspects? So Saturn has second aspect. Second aspect will fall on the fourth house. Fourth house is the house of your mother, the nourishment and care that you get from your mother. So there may be some deficiency in that area of your life. You may maybe with the mother your relation has not been very healthy, or it has been maybe a little problematic. We can say at times it happens, or the mother may have some health problem. That also we can say that any kind of health problem the mother may have. That also we can say. Then what else we can say, friends? Then we can say that fourth house is the house of your house, your home, your mental peace. So some lack of mental peace, because Saturn also denotes or signifies some lack and scarcity. So some lack of mental peace. You may not find peace at home at times. That also we can say, because Saturn's second aspect is there now. But yes, along with time, definitely you will see improvement in this condition, and you will definitely be able to find peace at home. That will happen over time, after the age of 35, you can say. Now friends, it is also the house, fourth house is the house of your property also, your landed property or even vehicles. So there may be some delay in owning some property of your own. So you may definitely own, but later on, after the age of 35. That also we can say. School education, some obstacles in the path of school education may be there. Some maybe some problems with school education, maybe. Now friends, let us go to Saturn's next aspect. That is Saturn's second aspect I told you, third aspect. Saturn's third aspect in Nadi astrology, friends, is very important for your profession. We believe that wherever Saturn's third aspect will fall, that house is very important for your profession. If there is if planet is sitting there, then also that planet also will be very important. Now even if there is no planet, zodiac sign is there, the sign has a certain lord planet. Now friends, fifth house, third aspect is falling on the fifth house. Fifth house is the house of your artistic talents, entertainment also. Even the house of healing also, it is considered to be the house of speculation. So your profession may have to do with any of these things. It is also the house of your child or children. So some delay in childbirth, or even if you have child or children, then some problems with the children, maybe some problematic relationship with the children may be there. That also we can say. Then fifth house is also the house of your education that you attain after school. So some obstacles in attaining, especially college education, we can say that. So friends, all these things we can say about Saturn's third aspect, which is also important, very important. Now let us go to Saturn's fifth aspect. Saturn's fifth aspect will fall on the seventh house. Fifth aspect is very auspicious in Nadi astrology. It is a trinal aspect. Seventh house is the house of your spouse and also marital life. The Saturn's aspect. Saturn is also the planet of doubt, skepticism. Saturn is a planet which believes in, analyzing everything critically. So some problems may be there in your marital relationship, we can say. Or if Saturn is in good dignity, then again it may be good for your marital relationship. Why? Because Saturn is also a planet which believes in maturity, practicality and realism. So you will deal with your spouse or life partner in a very practical, mature and realistic manner. That is a positive thing. That is a positive thing for your marriage. And you will look upon your marriage as a duty, that yes, it is my duty to look after my spouse. So because Saturn believes in responsibility and duty. So that also we can say. Now friends, let us go to also seventh house. Seventh house is the house of your independent business. So some delay in beginning your independent business, some delay in launching your business may be there. Because but when you launch, it will be good for you, because the planet of profession is only aspecting your independent business. So if Saturn is well placed more or less, then you will do well in independent business also after you have attained maturity, that is at least after the age of 35. Then friends, let us move to Saturn's seventh aspect. Saturn's seventh aspect will fall on the ninth house. Ninth house is the house of the father. So some problems with the father, yes, some differences of opinion will be there, but yes, over time you will definitely sort it out, and the relation also is seen that it generally improves over time. Later on you come to understand your father, and you make peace with him and all. It is also the house of God and religion, religious beliefs. So your religious beliefs also may be a little unconventional, or you can say that you may be secretive about that. You may not like to disclose what is your religious belief and all. You may not like to disclose that because Saturn is also the planet of secrecy. And if Saturn is not in good dignity, then also it is seen that a person may even be an atheist, one who doesn't believe in God. Maybe that also may happen in extreme cases if Saturn is not in good dignity. But otherwise, what will happen over time, it is seen that at least say after the age of 35, the person will definitely turn towards religion, towards even spiritual knowledge. Ninth house is also the house of spiritual knowledge. Yes, so so good things only you can expect after the age of 35 especially. And also your fortune, ninth house is the house of fortune. Your fortune will, you can say Lady Fortune will smile on you after you attain the age of 35. So here, but Lady Fortune means fortune personified, so fortune will smile on you. That is, some obstacles in the path of attaining good fortune may be seen, yes, especially in the early part of life. But later on, those obstacles will be removed, and anyway Saturn is in the third house, so you're putting in efforts, hard work. Third house is an Upachaya house. The results, you will go on experiencing and getting those results with time. So you are, definitely you're consistently, if you're, engaged in hard work, then definitely that will be the key to your fortune, and you will definitely attain a good fortune, especially after the age of 35, we can say. Now friends, let us go to the next aspect, that is Saturn's 9th aspect, which we consider in Nadi astrology. Saturn's 9th aspect. 9th aspect is also trinal, and it's also a very auspicious aspect. So 9th aspect, you can see, is falling on the 11th house. 11th house. 11th house is the house of your desires also, desires, gains also. Yes, so your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, because it is 11th house is also a Kam Trikon house. Yes. So your desire and also your gains. So some delay will be there because Saturn is aspecting. So some delay will be there. Saturn's 9th aspect is falling. But because Saturn is the planet of hard work and patience and time, so Saturn wants you to put in efforts consistently, to believe in hard work. So then along with time, definitely you will get good results, and you will be able to witness gains in your profession, gains in even other spheres of life. You will experience all kinds of gains and rise in your income. Yes, your social circle also will improve, and maybe it will help you to become more prosperous, and your network, your social network also will improve. Your relationship with your friends will improve, and also relationship with your elder siblings also will improve over time. Then let's go to Saturn's 10th aspect. 10th aspect is very important from the point of view of profession also. So Saturn's 10th aspect will fall in the 12th house. 12th house is also the house of isolation. So it is seen that such a person who has Saturn in the 3rd house usually does not like to do any kind of teamwork, and usually doesn't like to work for others. He believes in his own efforts, self-efforts. He believes in his own ability, so he wants to do something on his own. So that tendency is there in him. Even if he's in a job, that tendency is very much there. It is deep down, and it's kind of it is so strong. But yes, maybe after the age of 35, he may definitely get the opportunity to do something on his own. Because such a person who has Saturn in the 3rd house also loves isolation. Yes, loves to do something independently, doesn't like teamwork much. That also we can say. Then friends, 12th house is also the house of imagination. Saturn is aspecting now, 10th aspect. So some restriction in your imagination. Your imagination also may be a little limited, because Saturn is also the planet of limitation and restriction. Then 12th house is also the house of sleep, so some disturbance in your sleep also we can say. Then 12th house is also the house of your losses. Now this is a good thing. Saturn will restrict your losses, will prevent your losses. You will see that yes, you were about to experience a loss, but that loss has not taken place, because Saturn is aspecting. Saturn's 10th aspect is there, so you were saved from the loss. Either the loss is going to be delayed a lot, and so if the loss gets delayed, then definitely it will get diminished also maybe, or maybe it will be totally prevented by Saturn. That is a good thing. But again, 12th house is also the house of donation. So friends, that will also again restrict you, maybe, because Saturn restricts, may prevent you even from donating something to the poor and needy, because 12th house is also the house of donation, and we need to donate something, and definitely to the needy, so to the old and needy. That is also a remedy for Saturn, donating food, and donating even blankets, and donating even money to old age homes, and even to your servants and all. So that is a remedy for Saturn, so you need to do that. Then actually Saturn is the planet of justice. You will get good results. So friends, what else we can say? Next, let us go to, we are coming to an end very soon. Saturn's next aspect will fall on the first house. So which aspect? That is Saturn's 11th aspect. 11th aspect on the first house. First house is also the house of your identity, personality. So Saturn gives delay. 11th house aspect is also 30 to 35% effective. Trinal aspect is very powerful, 70 to 75%. 7th aspect is around 50%. And 11th aspect is 30 to 35%. So some delay in establishing your identity may be there. Your personality, will develop, but it will take some time. It will maybe develop well and properly after you attain the age of 35. Yes, your personality will develop, your identity will be established. And also friends, after all, the first house is also the house of your body, mind and soul. And Saturn is also a planet of skepticism and doubt. So you may be such a person who is in the habit of doubting others also, because after all the aspect is now on your personality. So you may have a tendency to even doubt others' intentions. It may be there. Why? Because Saturn is also like a judge, Saturn wants to be sure that whether he can trust the person or not. He will not easily trust. So he will judge you. He will be very analytical and critical about you. He will be skeptical. So these qualities are given by Saturn. And now Saturn is aspecting your first house, the house of personality, the 11th aspect. So it will make you a person who's skeptical, who's a little doubtful, and who believes in being critical. So that also we can say. And even secretive. Yes, you may be a little secretive. That also we can say. Now friends, Saturn's 12th aspect will fall on the second house. 12th aspect. 12th aspect is 20 to 25% powerful. Second house is the house of your wealth, your money, accumulated wealth. So again, because Saturn's 12th aspect is falling, so some delay in accumulating your wealth, some delay in being able to amass wealth aspect is there. So you will believe in being very forthright. So that will be your tendency when you speak. You will not think much. You will say what is right, what is just. That also we can say, because Saturn's 12th aspect is there on the house of speech also, and your family members. Yes, with some of your family members you can say that yes, your relationship may not be that smooth, because after all Saturn's aspect will be there to some extent. So it may not be very smooth, but yes, over time your relationship with your family also will improve over time. Say after the age of 30-35 it will improve. Yes friends, so all these things we can say if Saturn is in the third house. Third house is actually, friends, the house of Jupiter. I'm so sorry. Third house is the house of Mars and Mercury. Mars in the chart of the Kalpurush, Mars is the significator of the third house, and Mercury is the lord of the third house. So it is the house of Mars and Mercury. Mercury is Saturn's friend. Now Saturn is sitting in the house of his friend in a way, and Mars is actually, friend, Mars and Saturn, they are actually not bitter enemies, not die-hard enemies, no. Only that Mars and Saturn, their energies are different. That's it. Mars is very fast and hot and energetic, while Saturn is slow and cold, and at times it makes a person a little lazy, because Saturn is a slow moving planet. So energies are different, Mars and Saturn. So that is why. So, but Saturn will be seated in this house, which originally belongs to Mars and Mercury in the chart of the Kalpurush. And here Saturn will definitely give good results, because Saturn is also the planet of discipline. Mars also shows discipline. So Saturn will work in a disciplined manner, but now again, because Saturn is seated there, and after all it is the house of Mars and Mercury, So Mercury and Saturn are friends. So in communication, over time the person will do very well, and logical skills, analytical skills will be excellent, will develop over time. And even the person will also become energetic also over time, because after all it is the house of Mars. So all good things you can expect generally if Saturn is placed in the third house. Friends, do subscribe to my channel and share this